The first week of September often feels like someone flipped a seasonal switch. One day it's warm and bright, and the next, the skies are heavy, the evenings are cooler, and autumn announces itself without hesitation. For many gardeners, this signals the winding down of the growing season. But here's the secret most people overlook. September isn't the end. In fact, it's the gateway to one of the most rewarding periods of the gardening year. If you choose the right crops now, your garden can continue to provide fresh food through the winter and burst into life next spring long before anything else is ready. Let's dive into what you should be sowing this month to transform those colder, darker months into a season of abundance. Lettuce doesn't have to be a summer-only crop. Varieties like all year round and Larasso thrive even in cooler weather, provided they get a little shelter. Sown in September, they establish quickly before the hard frosts and then tick along slowly, giving you crisp leaves for harvesting right through winter. Spinach is another powerhouse this time of year. Look for Giant Winter, a variety that laughs in the face of cold snaps. Sow it now, and you'll enjoy tender, nutrient-rich leaves deep into the colder months. Rocket and spicy salad mixes are equally reliable choices. They germinate rapidly, grow vigorously, and add that peppery zing to winter dishes. If you've got a greenhouse or polytunnel, these greens will grow even faster, but don't let that stop you if you're limited to open soil. These plants are hardy enough to cope outside. Autumn sowings of alliums can make a huge difference to your harvests. Garlic is at its very best when it gets that essential cold period over winter to form large, healthy bulbs. Planting at the end of September works beautifully. Separate the cloves, push them into well-drained soil about 2 inches deep and 6 inches apart, water them lightly, around half a watering can per square metre, and then let nature take over. By June or July next year, you'll be harvesting robust bulbs with rich, strong flavour. Elephant garlic is another excellent choice if you want something a little milder. Think of it as the halfway point between garlic and leek. Huge cloves with a delicate sweet flavour that roast beautifully. Sow it in exactly the same way as regular garlic and you'll be rewarded with impressive bulbs the following summer. Spring onions shouldn't be forgotten either. Hardy varieties like White Lisbon Winter Hardy can be sown in September and left to quietly grow away. By early spring you'll be pulling crisp, fresh onions from the soil just when you're craving something green after the leaner months. September is a wonderful month to start cauliflower if you pick the right variety. All year round lives up to its name and, when sown in autumn, produces compact, tasty heads in spring. Start them in trays or modules now and move them into their final positions once they've built up strength. The key here is timing. Get them large enough before the first hard frosts and they'll ride out winter without much fuss. Not every crop you sow in September needs to sit in the soil for months. Radishes are the perfect example. With cool weather to keep them from bolting, they thrive in autumn conditions and can be ready to pull in as little as 4 weeks. Sow a small row every couple of weeks, and you'll have a steady supply of crisp, peppery roots until the frosts deepen. If you've never tried overwintering broad beans, September is the time to start. These beans are surprisingly tough, and when sown now, establish before winter, then surge into growth as soon as spring arrives. By May, you'll already be harvesting when many gardeners are only just sowing their beans. Choose a hardy variety and plant them directly where they'll grow. Make sure the soil is well drained, give them a thorough watering, around 1 gallon per square metre, and let them settle in. Growing onions from sets in autumn is a clever strategy if you want to get ahead of disease pressures. By putting them in the ground now, you'll have a harvest ready weeks earlier than spring-planted onions. The earlier crop often escapes the worst of mildew and other issues, meaning healthier bulbs. Plant them 4 inches apart in rows, spaced 10 inches apart, push them gently into the soil so the tips show, and water sparingly until rain takes over. September isn't all about food, Sweet peas sown now germinate slowly and grow steadily through winter, producing stronger, more resilient plants. When spring warmth arrives, they burst into growth and flower earlier and more prolifically than spring-sown plants. Start them in pots, keep them in a cool, sheltered spot, and let them overwinter. By summer, your garden will be filled with vibrant colour and fragrance. September through November is prime time to plant spring bulbs. Tulips, daffodils, crocuses, snowdrops and alliums all benefit from autumn planting. The soil is still warm enough for roots to establish, and come spring you'll be rewarded with stunning displays when the rest of the garden is just waking up. Even if the weather outside feels unwelcoming, you can still keep the garden spirit alive indoors. Herbs like basil, parsley, coriander and chives do brilliantly on sunny windowsills. Sow them in pots, keep the compost moist but not waterlogged. Roughly 1 cup of water per medium pot twice a week, adjusting depending on conditions, and you'll have fresh herbs to snip all winter long. For the fastest possible harvest, nothing beats microgreens. These tiny greens are harvested just as the first true leaves emerge and are packed with nutrients. Broccoli, radish, peas and sunflower shoots are all excellent choices. All you need is a shallow tray, a thin layer of compost and a packet of seeds designed for microgreens. Sow densely, cover lightly with compost, water gently until the surface is moist, around ½ cup per tray, and place the tray on a sunny windowsill. Within 2 weeks, you'll be cutting vibrant greens to sprinkle over your meals. September may feel like the beginning of the end, but for gardeners who know where to look, it's a fresh opportunity. From garlic and onions that need winter to do their best work, to salads and spinach that thrive in the cold, and microgreens that deliver instant rewards indoors, this month sets the stage for months of abundance. Don't let your garden slip into silence. Sow wisely this September and you'll be enjoying fresh, homegrown produce right through winter and into the earliest days of spring. If you found this guide useful, make sure you subscribe to Timeless Crops Haven and share this video with other gardeners. Let's keep growing together and make every season a season of harvest.